Chapter 5 of Merry Clappum Junction. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Ruth Golding. Merry Clappum Junction by Arnold Kennedy. Chapter 5. The Council of Beasts. When the guard saw that there was no chance of catching the train, he said to Tommy and the squirrel, "Before I show you how very sorry I am for this unfortunate occurrence, I must sing a song about it. I always set my troubles to music." Then he began to look extremely cheerful, and sang, "To judge by the absence of rhyme and the uncertain number of syllables, the words of this song must have been made up by the guard as he went along."
Oh, where has my merry train disappeared to? It has gone to bright New Zealand, if it can find the way. But it's my decided opinion that it might just as well have stayed where it was. Oh, why has it started before its time? You must ask the station master, that's what I say to you. Then shout for points and sleepers and the signalman so free. Oh, when shall we see its face once more? You must look it up in Bradshaw and then you'll know. So shout for points and sleepers and the signalman so free. Oh, where has my merry train disappeared to? For it's gay and bold and free, that is to say, life on a railway train. Then ho for the sleepers and high for the points and the signalman so free.
When the song was ended, the guard groaned and wrung his hands. "That's enough happiness for the present," he said. The squirrel had been trying hard to beat time to the song, but by the end of the first verse it began to look puzzled, and at the last verse it gave it up with a sigh.
"It would be more sensible," it remarked, "if you would ring your bell instead of your hands. If you can't find the way to New Zealand, you must advertise it and offer a reward. Some of the beasts or birds or fishes in the wood are sure to have heard something of it. Even I might give you some information if you asked me very nicely." The guard then rang a loud peal and shouted, "Lost at or about this present time, the way to New Zealand. Whoever will discover it and bring it to my address will be rewarded. Whoever does not discover it will be punished." "If they don't come to get the reward," he remarked, "they are sure to come to get off being punished." A great rustling and tramping was now heard, as an army of animals of every kind trooped up from all directions, while birds arranged themselves in rows on every branch of the nearest trees. A kangaroo, a canary, a cat, a crocodile, a camel, and a cuttlefish came to the front and seemed inclined to speak. "You see, they all begin with a K,"
said the squirrel, nodding pleasantly to Tommy, who was beginning to say, "They don't," when the crocodile called out, "Silence!" in such a terrible voice that the camel shivered and the hairs of the cat stood up on end. Then the crocodile said, "I want to know why breakfast isn't ready, and I'll thank someone to tell me pretty quick."
As soon as this business is over, I must be off to Egypt, and I'll thank someone to find me a train to go by."
Then he smiled. The guard looked nervous. "There are some very nice sandwiches at Clappum Junction," he said in a low voice. "Real old Egyptians, very dry. But first I wish this meeting would tell us the way to New Zealand."
"Oh, that's easy enough,"
said all the creatures at once. Then the cuttlefish spread out its feelers and said with a yawn, "You'll go by sea, you know. Any fish could tell you that. We're always going there." "How long does it take?" said Tommy timidly. "I can't tell you that," said the cuttlefish, "because I never managed to get there."
You take a fly,
said the canary.
that's the easiest way, and the cheapest too.
The kangaroo said, "You should go to Australia and then ask again." Here the camel was seized with a violent fit of laughter. He was understood to begin, "In the long run," and then he nearly choked. The crocodile looked at the camel very severely and said,
"If you think you're the only person who can joke, you're much mistaken."
When the camel had quite recovered itself, the cat said that she didn't see why they should go to New Zealand at all, as the train would get on quite well without them. For that matter, she didn't see why anybody should trouble to go so far. Then the crocodile shrieked out,
"If you don't settle this business before the earth turns round another inch, I shall eat you up, every one of you, and then get some Clappum sandwiches for dessert."
At this the squirrel chimed in.
Did I understand you to say that the earth was turning round?
"I don't know whether you understood me,"
growled the crocodile,
"but that's what I said, neither fewer nor manier."
I know, said Tommy eagerly. The earth turns round on its axis once every 24 hours. I don't see the use of having axes to turn round upon, said the squirrel. But if the earth turns round so quickly as that, you have only to get up in the air, and New Zealand will come round to you.
End of chapter 5.